Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel, eddieinreadingland. Oh, well, let me readjust myself. Let me see. Okay. Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel, eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you my Beltane wrap-up. Okay guys, so actually pretty happy with my work for Beltane. I chose to use 4 decks for this Beltane this year, and 2 of those decks are actually queer decks because it's Pride Month. Well, half of Pride Month. But I am doing this review in Pride Month, and I have to check again when the solstice actually hits. I think it's going to be on the 21st, sometime in the early evening. Not very sure of the time, but I already have my decks for Letha that I'm going to use, but that'll come later. Right now, let's focus on Beltane. Eddie. So yes, I did use 4 decks, but the thing you're gonna see 2 queer decks and 2 decks that are, I want to say, I chose them so that I could use the I Ching. I will have further down the line a review of the I Ching Oracle by Benabel when I'm going to show you the book in a little while, but I will have a review of that book later on once I finish using it, because I'm going to use it also for Letha. So because I'm just having so much fun with it. So let me talk a little about the experience. Well, you know what, let me show you the book that I'm talking about so that you know we have something. This is the I Ching, the Oracle by Annabelle Wen. I haven't had a curiosity for the I Ching, even though it's a divination system and it's a ancient. It's even older than tarot, but I didn't really show any interest on it because it's not cards, and cartomancy is one of the things that I like best. The only reason why I showed more interest was because I backed on Kickstarter one of the decks that, oh, you know what, let me show you. I'm gonna put this book down because it's very heavy, guys. As you can see, Benabel is a thorough writer, and I love her for that. I know that this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea because it is a very thick book. This is it's almost 1,000 pages, guys. Wow. Yeah. So I'm not even going to have people read this because I know that most of us won't. But I had a fantastic experience reading this book. But yeah, so let me show you the one of the first text. You know what? I'm going to use the lower camera. So this is the illustrated I Ching. Here we go. This is the guidebook, and this is the Oracle cards. I backed this up on Kickstarter, and the reason why I backed it was because I thought that it was going to be a great way for me to use the I Ching without having to go through all of the very what is the word that I want to use? Having to go through the minutiae of the ritual of getting a hexagram for the I Ching. I wasn't familiar much with the I Ching, but I knew that there was this whole ritual that needed to be done to get 1 hexagram. And I thought that was not realistic for me to do because of the amount of time that I have to do my daily draws and my journaling in the morning. I couldn't create more time to do that ritual, so I thought that getting cards for the I Ching was going to cut way more. Actually, it cut way more than I expected it to be very honest with you guys. But that was extremely helpful. for me when using the I Ching. So I did use this. Now, unfortunately, I quickly realized that this book is not a very good guidebook for the I Ching, and the only reason why I was able to know this and learn that this is not so is because I read this first. I read the I Ching Oracle first by Benabel Wen, which obviously did a disservice to this book, the Illustrated I Ching, by Feng Shui. Because, how can I explain this? This book reads more like carnival fortune telling than even good fortune telling. Definitely not divination. This book was not meant for divination. I think that the aim of the authors of this book was to simplify the I Ching for Eastern readers who are interested in what they thought was fortune telling. That is the only way that I can explain this book. Actually, it is unfortunate because this book is gorgeous, guys. Look at this. It has a 4th edition of the card, and it actually comes in both Chinese and English. So for all of the people who are for all of those people who are able to read Chinese, good on them. I'm not able to read Chinese, unfortunately. I can read it. I can read a little bit of Japanese. But as you guys can see, let's look at hexagram number 13. It's a very vague description of the hexagram. Unfortunately, there is no mention of what the oracle or what the message of the hexagram is. And then they go into overall picture. They go into what this hexagram may mean for your fortune, what the hexagram may mean for your relationship if you're asking about a relationship, what it may mean for your health. And then they have a very small conclusion about the essence of the hexagram, but it's not good, guys. It reads like a carnival fortune telling book. Like, basically, draw your own fortune from the lollipop, or draw your own fortune from from the machine that's definitely going to give you a very accurate reading of what's going to happen in your future. So very early, I decided not to use this book and then just use the I Ching Oracle by Benabel Wen instead. So yeah, that's that. Let's show you the deck. So the deck is actually pretty cool. It comes in a clam box. Clam box. And it's very sturdy. And as you guys can see, the backs are gorgeous. And it is gilded in gold, which it's not that I don't like, but it's not my preferred. I would love this to be matte because it doesn't chip off, and it started to chip off and most of the edges, so that's unfortunate, but that is something that I expect from gilding. Okay, but yeah, moving on to the Oracle deck. Now, having read the I Ching, I can say with some certainty that I now see why illustrated cards for the I Ching don't work. Because each of the hexagram, let me show you. Each of the hexagrams, this is hexagram, guys. I don't want to get too much into this because I want to review the book later when I finish using it. But this limitation. Now, the hexagram does talk about a river and how the river is a boundary, and this is actually a really good depiction of a river. But the hexagram doesn't only talk about that. It talks about way more. And what the cards are not able to do is they're not able to tell you all of the things that hexagram number 60 mean. So, for example, in this case, it's limitation. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of layers to the hexagram that cannot be interpreted in a single image or an illustration of a card. Yes, this is a beautiful illustration of a river, but this very much simplifies to a very minimal, I should say menial, meaning of the hexagram and of the history and the message of the I Ching that is trying to portray. So, cards are easier to use if you want to cut down on the ritual of getting a hexagram. Yes. But unfortunately, the illustration on the card will never be accurate because the hexagram is not just one thing. It's a bunch of things. Not really sure what you guys know about the I Ching, but there is a message of the hexagram, and then each of the lines in the hexagram has another message for you as well. And it may be advantageous, it may be neutral, it may be disadvantageous, and I don't feel like an artist will be able to accurately portray all of those layers unless they create a comic book sort of feel to the cards, but that will be very distracting as well, I feel. So, let me show you more images. I'm sorry, guys. I got to talking about the I Ching and the illustrations, and I haven't shown you any more illustrations, so I apologize for that. The other thing is that I wasn't feeling the illustrations on these cards at all. They were not vibing with me, and mostly I think it's because this is an AI deck, and even though I do have another AI deck that's based on Alice in Wonderland that I actually like, this one I don't. I actually don't feel anything while I look at these cards, which is very conflicting and confusing to me because I'm able to pick a lot from the Wonderland Shadows. What is it called? The other AI deck that I have on Alice in Wonderland. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I think that what I'm going to do for myself, and this is going to be a project that I'm just going to work on when I have the time, I guess, is I'm going to create my own images for the I Ching, and then I'm going to print those out and create myself a deck for me, because I don't even think that I would be able to sell that deck, because again, there are so many layers to the I Ching that it's just impossible to portray various meanings into one illustration. Various conflicting meanings into one illustration. That's what I mean. So yeah, this is one of the decks that I have been using it. I did use it all month. But I didn't focus on the illustration. I focused on the message of the I Ching. There wasn't anything else that I could have done. The illustrations, unfortunately, were not landing for me. Some of them seem striking, but again, there's no, I didn't have any emotion towards them. So yeah, very unfortunate. I'm gonna have to pass this deck on. I don't know if I'm going to review this deck in a separate video. I'm not, because I think I already said everything that I want to say about this I Ching Oracle cards. Yeah. I think I'm gonna move on. The deck that the other I Ching deck that I was using and that I was more successful with was sorry guys, there we go. Here we go. The Spirit Keeper's Tarot by Annabelle Wen. Why? Well, Annabelle did a very amazing thing with her deck. And that was giving us the trigrams over here on this side of the card. Why is this important? Well, what I did to get an I Ching hexagram when I was using this tarot for my daily draw was that I would draw 2 cards, and each card would give me 1/2 of the hexagram. And oh, there we go. As you guys can see, here's another trigram. This is the water trigram, and this is the mountain trigram. Now, the first card that I get goes on the bottom, and the second card that you get goes on top, and it creates the hexagram. Genius. She did a fantastic job with this tarot, guys. I have only good things to say about it. I'm going to show you some images, but this is one of those decks that I'm also going to review. Well, I'm going to review it later, and I'm going to give you more thorough opinions of it. But right now, I just want you to see the artwork. And one of the things that I want to let you know is that Annabelle actually learned how to draw and created this tarot. So she's just so amazing. I cannot say enough good things about this tarot. I will say that the cards do make more sense, and they're even more comprehensible when you read the book of maps that comes with this deck. Why? Well, the thing is that each of these cards is so full of symbology, but not only symbology, it's so full of culture and the history of that culture. And Annabelle made a fantastic job providing us with such a diverse and rich deck. I learned so much on history of different cultures and the history of symbols. And not only that, but she also provided us with the reasoning why she chose all of the symbols that she chose for the specific card. Cannot say more wonderful things about this tarot. The only thing that I know about this tarot that it's a little what is it? Tragic is that it's not mass market, and I know that there are very, very few decks available out there in the world, and I feel like this should be picked up by somebody and released in mass market, because I think that people need the opportunity to get this tarot deck and be accessible, because it's so ironic, because on the Book of Maps, Annabelle actually says that the purpose of this deck was to be an exoteric deck. So why not make it mass market? I love this devil card. I know, and she also provides the reasoning why she renamed the cards. I'll talk about more later when I actually review this deck. But yes, I want to move on because I'm gonna just keep talking about the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. But yes, that is the other way that I got the hexagrams. The hexagram for today, and it was by using the Spirit Keeper's Tarot by Annabelle Wen. I think that she made a genius deck in especially combining the I Ching and into the tarot. Yes, cannot say bad things about Benabel Wen. Okay, so now for the queer version of the video. Since Beltane ends halfway through June, which in June is Pride Month, I decided that I was going to use two of my queer decks as well for my daily draws, and so I did just that. And this is the Archania Tarot by Herculion, or Mazjojo. This is it's just so wonderful. It's very elegant and it's very tasteful. I feel like there should be an erotic version of this tarot. Or I feel like they should create an erotic version. Oh, actually, an erotic tarot. Because this is a very, even though it is very homoerotic, I am missing the sex from the deck. This is such a wonderful deck, guys. I cannot stress enough. I was gonna say it does have the cards reversed because just finished using it, so I do use reversals as well. But I will also review this deck at a later time. Actually, maybe I should do that next. But I had an amazing time working with this deck. This deck made me even more comfortable with myself and my views on sex and my views on sexuality, which I thought wasn't something that was going to happen, because that was not my intent. Oh, what's going on? Focus. There we go. That is never my intent when I'm using tarot, but I kind of went off in that way, and it was actually really cool working with this, even though the cards are very long and it's very awkward to shuffle. As you guys can see, my hands are quite small, and this is a very long deck, but it does have the matte edges that I love. And so all of the characters on the deck are supposed to be male, even the feminine presenting ones, which I thought was fascinating because it I don't know, it just made the deck a little, it just gave the deck another layer that I wasn't expecting. Now I'm not really sure how successful they were in doing that, because actually most of the feminine or feminized cards, how can I say this? They're not erotic. They're not in the homoerotic theme. So they do pull me out of the fantasy of the world. That's what I wanted to say. But it's probably also because I'm not sexually attracted to women. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, had a really good time using this era. I do have to say that this is a one card draw tarot deck. If I draw more than one card for this deck, it starts to become confusing, and I started second guessing myself as to the reasons why I was getting those cards. So yeah, I usually only take one card, but sometimes jumpers happen, and especially because this is a very long deck, like I was saying, so jumpers were quite frequent with this deck. So I would just pick one card when it was easier for me to journal on one card using this deck. That is the only thing that I would say about it. But I love the colors. The characters, actually, the cards are so elegant. Yeah, can't say bad things about this. Amazing deck. I don't even mind the borders, and I usually don't like borders on decks, but this one, I was fine with. I was totally fine with. This is excellent. I love this. I love this. Probably because it reminds me of the Cloud cards by Clamp. So I think that's the reason why. But yeah, here it is. The other thing that I was gonna say is that this deck also is. Well, you know what? I'm gonna talk more about that on the review. But we have different ages and we have different body types as well. So I'm not complaining at all. Okay, moving on to the last deck that I used for this Beltane, the new voice terror by Rosario Salerno, whom I absolutely love. Their art style is just amazing. This man, I'm not really sure if they identify as a man or if they're non-binary. I think they're a man. I think they identify as a man, but I got confused about his pronouns because the name Rosario in Spanish is exclusively female for women, and yeah, I didn't know that he was a man, and even though I knew he was Italian, it never occurred to me that in Italy the name would be used for men as well. I'm sorry, I still have bias. I'm not exempt from that. But yes, so here is the new voice terror. Oh, I'm going to show you the backs because I love them. I love this. To me, this is a phoenix egg in sacred geometry. So I love this back. I love these backs. They're amazing. But moving on, this deck made me extremely happy. It still makes me extremely happy. I'm looking at the Five of Cups and I'm feeling happy. And even though I know it's a sad card, but there's so much queerness, so much queer culture in this deck. Again, it was amazing working with it because I love this devil card. It's just so raunchy and naughty. I love it. Not to mention that this is kink culture right here. So yes, amazing. I love these lovers as well. We'll be reviewing this deck, of course. But the journaling for this deck was quite illuminating. It revealed part of my queerness that I definitely had to work on. I still have bias. Gods, I grew up in Costa Rica. That is a very machista country. I still have a lot of machismo in me, and this deck has helped me so much during journaling, just not only making me aware of it, but giving me the reassurance that I can work through that and pass that. Gods is so good. I know that for my queer clients, I would definitely use this deck because it just brings up a lot of queer issues that you may have locked inside you or that you didn't even think that you had until you see the card and you're like, oh yeah, that's coming up right now. that is a shadow aspect of myself that I didn't have any idea that I needed to look at, and it's coming up right now. And a little bit of not shame on me for not realizing it, but a little of you're unaware of this, and this needs to get taken care of. Take care of this right now, because this is coming up, and it's coming up for a reason. And awesome growth and development deck. I love the colors. I love the color scheme of this deck. I love the art. Rosario does an amazing job in how he modernized the tarot. This is also the only modern tarot that I have with modern feel people. That's what I mean. Or that features modernity. Oh my god, how can I say the same thing over and over again? I'm going crazy now. Lovely deck. This deck has so much love for queer people. It's just amazing. Rosario did an amazing job. I'll talk more about this deck later, but there we go. Oh, there I am, the Knight of Swords. I'll end up on this Knight of Swords. But there you go, guys. Those are the decks that I use for Beltane. Overall, amazing period of time for me to explore parts of myself that I didn't explore before, or hadn't explored before. I am very grateful for the decks that I've used, even the I Ching deck. It made me realize that I should make a deck for myself with illustrations of the I Ching that I align better for. But so happy to have queer decks at my disposal, and queer decks that I actually love, with art that I actually love as well. Can't say enough good things about all of these decks except for the I Ching Oracle. Journaling was also, using these decks was also quite prolific. I didn't bring my journal, but I would show you, and it was quite the long paragraphs that I wrote for these cards, for these decks while using the cards. So very, very grateful to be working with these. Love them. Can I felt very seen by these decks, and especially because there was a part during this season where I am being met with a wave of depression that I think is just scheduled at this point in the year. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm able to process. I'm thankfully, because I use Sarah, I'm able to process all of those feelings, process all of that information into my journaling, and again, very grateful for it. I do realize now that I need to work on where that's stemming from better for myself as well, because I also realized that I don't want to feel like I have a scheduled depression every year for the same time. There is a reason. But it just feels icky at this point. I don't want to feel that way. It's okay that you're not okay, but for some reason, it just feels not okay to have a scheduled wave of depression in my year. It's just no, and especially knowing that I'm able to do something about it. That's the thing, and I know that I can work through it. So very thankful for these tarot for making me realize that, because I needed that realization, definitely. But as in any case, thank you so much for being here, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Oh! Let me know in the comments below what were your decks for this Beltane period. Actually, I know that most of you work monthly with decks. But yeah, well, let me know what decks you're using, and maybe which one was your favorite from the ones that I showed today. Thank you again, guys, and bye bye, YouTube. Is that recording? Am I recording? Am I recording? Oh, maybe I should. I should have a thumbnail for my husband. Oh, maybe I should clap first. There we go. Clapping first. Having a thumbnail. Having a thumbnail for my husband. No, should I? Oh here, so that it's centered. Over here. There we go. I like this one, husband. Okay. Hopefully, I am filming because I don't want to do that again. That was very heavy. God, what do I go to the gym for? Our way to San Diego. Okay, nothing wrong with some sex. It'll use my muscles for something. Wait,